Bump, 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 bump. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant with Greg Bergman and Parker Bell. And, I guess we're not allowed to have too much happiness forever with this team.
We got a day. Hey, we got a day.
We got a day. I guess that's all we can really ask for. The Dodgers losing by a score of 10-7 on Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. It was at least for me, it was a frustrating game. Greg, I know you said you're not quite as frustrated.
No.
I don't know. It hurts.
All right, give me your frustration first, and then I will give why I'm not as.
First, what I will give you is some love for LAX because they help us out with this whole thing. They are transforming the travel experience, saving guests time. The People Mover train expected to be up and running early next year. If you want more information, you can go to flylax.com/transforminglax. What was frustrating about it to me yesterday was a game where Yamamoto obviously didn't have his best command, but battled through. Aside from the second inning, he was actually pretty good, right? He had that rough second inning when he just really couldn't find the strike zone. He ends up giving up the big 2-run double, gives up 3 runs in the inning. But other than that, really held the Twins down for the most part. The Dodgers battled. They score 3 runs thanks to the Andy Pages home run. They tie it up in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then immediately the bullpen just melts down in the worst way. And I know what you're going to say. I get it. Like Kasparis was maybe the only one that really you counted on to give you anything, and he was just awful, and then he leaves with an injury. But just the rest of the Henriquez, I don't know what that throw was to first base.
It was so bad.
Everything about it was just so frustrating because a team that is kind of scuffling right now really battled and looked like it looked like one of those games that we saw early in the season where it just looked like things were sort of going sideways and they figured out a way to save it. And just to have the bullpen just hand it away was a little bit frustrating last night.
Yeah, I get it. I get the frustration. You put a nail on the head. The guys that we have that are up there, right, that were pitching last night, besides Ben Kasparis, and he obviously left with the injury and was just an absolute disaster up until that point. Alexis Diaz, who was fine. It was fine. Henriquez throwing that ball away. Will Klein. The guys that were giving up the runs are just not going to matter. They're going to be in AAA when all is said and done. As soon as I saw Alexis Diaz come up, I was like, okay, they're saying, okay, you can have this. You can have this game. I wasn't annoyed because I knew where it was going. And then when it was Henriquez right after, I'm like, okay, they're not even trying to have the best pitchers out there to keep this game close. So it was one of those typical Dave giveaway games almost. They still kept it close. That's why I'm not as frustrated is because the offense was just a little bit better. They were being more patient. They were getting on base. The leadoff batter was getting on base consistently. Yeah. I think it was 6 or 7 innings in a row that the leadoff batter got on base. So those were all positives to me. And that the fact that they did score 7 runs, I know 2 of them came in the 9th inning with Shohei, but still they were starting to put up runs. And even Yamamoto, even how bad he was, if you don't have that error from Rojas in the second inning, he gets out of that clean. He gets out of that inning clean. And as bad as he was, he probably would have gone a little bit longer because the way that Yamamoto works, if that first pitch strike, if that splitter is if it's below the strike zone every single time, guys are laying off it. He has to throw that ball for a strike to keep them honest, and he wasn't. And when that's happening, then his fastball's up too high. Guys are just laying off, and they're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and his pitch count rises, and he's walking dudes, and it's a problem. But he figured it out after that inning. Then he started throwing his fastball for more strikes, getting more strikeouts off that fastball because they were expecting the splitter to be there. So I thought Yamamoto was bad until he figured himself out. And like I was saying, the people that you're going to see there in that bullpen just aren't going to matter. It just sucks right now because they're costing us games.
See, the worry is though, Marcus, And, Greg, you make a good point that these guys aren't guys that we're going to necessarily see down the line, but we are going to see them for the foreseeable future. So, it's one of those situations where if a guy like Yamamoto, the ace, has a rough start, how often are we going to see these, these kind of tough losses because of control and defense? Because you got guys who aren't your frontline starters, Marcus. And I don't know. I mean, you got the Red Sox after the Twins. It's going to be an interesting dynamic moving forward if, you got guys like Asparius who have calf issues, some of your main bullpen guys not really playing.
Yeah, I guess the update on Kasparius. I mean, he's going to have an MRI, but they're saying it's cramping, that he's sort of day to day. So we'll see. Maybe he's available potentially for what would be, I guess, his next turn in the rotation. Using air quotes on all that right now. It's sort of a rotation, but it's not. Like, I don't know. I saw in the chat, I think it was John said, has there ever been a team in MLB history to punt this many games in a regular season after winning a World Series? And I guess that is sort of what a little bit of my frustration was about last night, was that, yeah, we've seen Roberts punt games before. It just felt like with the team really in a funk right now, and having won that you'd like to sort of stack wins if possible. So I guess I was a little surprised that maybe he didn't chase it a little harder, firstly when it was tied, but then after it got to 6-3, they come back, they get 2 runs on, hey, an RBI hit by Ha-Seong Kim. Guy keeps producing, just saying. When it got to 6-5, I was surprised that maybe they didn't chase it a little bit more. That we didn't see a Vesia or a Bonda or somebody like that. So instead of him just, he just decides, like you said, to sort of punt this one, and they go with Diaz and Henriquez and Klein and whatever. Again, that's why we're sitting here and he's sitting there. But I just felt like yesterday was a chance to maybe try and gain some momentum. Lock up a series win, and then, see if you can get the sweep today, go into the off day feeling good on your way to Boston. But, apparently not.
No, totally. And I think all those things are completely valid too. It's just like the fact that they didn't use Bonda and Vesia and go into those types of guys, does kind of show you what they did pitch the day before. It just, you're coming off of a long break too, so they could have used them on back-to-back days. The whole thing was just a little bit weird, but they went to Alexis Diaz, and he was fine. I mean, what he was doing, it just felt like it was, here, we're just kind of, hopefully we'll get through this. It wasn't hey, we're going to put our best guys out there and get a second straight win, especially after Kasparius. When Kasparius came in, that was the moment. It was like, okay, we're going to win this game. We're going to go Kasparius. We're going to go Dreyer. We're going to go Vesia. Maybe we're going to go Yates, despite how bad he was going to do, but they were going to use the guys that they were supposed to. When Kasparius went bad, they just went, okay, now's the day that we're going to just try out the dudes that we haven't been able to play yet. Alexis Diaz, first appearance with the Dodgers. Edgardo Henriquez, first appearance this year with the Dodgers. Like, those are the types of situations that just show me that it was like, okay, let's see if you can do it. And by the way, Kim, well, that was a great hit for him, and I'm really happy that he got that hit. He had been scuffling hard for a while. And since he's been playing every day, he's been chasing balls way up in the zone, not getting bat on ball, striking out a ton, and he has not been playing well. Hopefully that double or single would help him out, and just because he was also scored a couple runs, he ended up stealing a base. Maybe that gets him going a little bit, and that'll be exciting for me.
Although admittedly, like, nobody has really been
everybody
particularly really well.
Yeah.
Shohei, Willie Dills, and
Shohei. What, four straight games with a home run for Shohei. So that part is good for sure.
Yep.
Trying to think. Let's find some bright spots though. Besides that, obviously the offense scoring 7 runs last night, not a bad way to go. Andy Pages with the home run, and I mean, Parker, this team still has a lot of talent top to bottom, and it's hard to believe that they're going to continue to slump as badly as they have. Freddie Freeman, 1 for 2 last night, had a couple of walks. Maybe he's starting. I know they've been saying on the broadcast that they're saying maybe the Coldplay this Cam meme. He saw something in his swing there, so maybe something good. Well, I mean, for us, a lot of humor and good has come out of that meme, but maybe something good has come out for the Dodgers in that meme too. I don't know.
It totally could be. I love that that's sweeping the nation. It's been probably the funniest thing to come out in the last year or so. Just Phillies Cam, all these people going for it. But with Freddie, it's just such a weird situation in a weird year because he's hitting 293, and that's like a terrible year for Freddie. It's always so unique following his career and the way that he's so consistent. Yet it's different. And Greg, you've been talking about this all year. The fact that he is consistent when it comes to average, that's one thing. But there's a lot of other things that we've been not seeing from Freddie, and it's because of the injuries. So we're hoping that luckily that hand thing was nothing. I'm sure, well, it's not nothing. I don't want to get hit by it. Don't ever want to get hit by an MLB pitch. But luckily, it's blown over and he's going to be recovering fine. But I think that after the All-Star break, Freddie's kind of been figuring it out mentally, and you can see that he's a little happier on the field. And, looking at the rest of the lineup, we're going to see, but maybe they'll follow Shohei's suit soon.
Yeah, look, the Freddie portion of it is very positive to me. I think he's starting to get to where he's not quite there yet, but he's starting to get to where he needs to. The fact that he walked twice and wasn't swinging off his heels, trying to figure himself out like he had been for the last month, that's better. He was striking out a ton when that's really not his game. He is not somebody that strikes out a mass amount. He was in the last month, he struck out more than Shohei, and Shohei strikes out a lot. So that should tell you a little bit of something, how bad Freddie Freeman was going. But the fact that he was walking, the fact that he got a hit, and he had a hit the day before too, and those are starting to figure himself out where it's all on his right foot and how he places it and whatever it happens to be. But he's coming around. You can see it was always trusting that Freddie Freeman was going to come around. I think the offense is starting to look a little bit better too. The fact that Pages, if we want to do the positive stuff, I think Pages has started to find his swing again. That is a very big positive to me. Seeing Pages in right field with Teo out, I love seeing Pages in right field yesterday. That made me very, very happy. And he did a good job over there and held guys to singles that, or held people back because they know how good his arms are. There was a lot of positives in the offense in general. I just saw more patience at the plate. A lot of guys walking to get on base to be as the first batter to set it off. So you get the leadoff batter on base. Even Mookie, I know he went 0 for 4, but he did have the walk, and some of the hits that he had, he did have his normal pop up to second base because he's got to have at least one a game. Trademark Mookie pop up, but you can see he's starting to kind of look at it a little bit differently. They aren't always pop-ups. He had one that he just got a slightly underneath. Otherwise, that one could have been gone. I see good things in the offense starting to arise, Marcus, that they did put up 7 runs. They put up, 6 yesterday? I don't remember what the score was yesterday.
5, yeah. Mm-hmm.
5 yesterday, and they were putting up runs over the weekends against the Brewers when the Brewers have been a very good team recently, and they're actually the best team in baseball right now. So the offense is starting to click again, and that makes me excited. It just now need to figure out this stupid bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the big thing now is the bullpen. And I did see it in the chat, and I think it's right that, I think other teams around the league are watching the Dodgers struggle with their bullpen. And, as wise philosopher Fat Joe once said, yesterday's price is not today's price when it comes to looking for bullpen help. So, I think Andrew Friedman and everybody understands that, what the needs are, but I think they're also understanding that they're going to have to pay an extra tax to try and get some things. Especially because it seems like a lot of the names that they are targeting, or at least rumored to be targeting, are guys who are still under team control for another year or two. So teams are going to want something extra in return to part with some of those guys to help out. So we will see. Yeah.
One thing, Reezy in the chat, did it sound like to either of you two that I said that Mookie Betts popped up every at bat?
No, but he does seem to have one a game.
One a game. That's all I said.
I think those are the words. One a game.
Yeah, at least one a game. He was popping up every at bat before.
It felt
not
like it,
now. It felt like it. He did not pop up every time in that bat. Please use your ears.
We deal in hyperboles here.
Yes, very hyperbole.
They love you in the chat, Greg. They love you in the chat. It's great.
It's fun. I never respond. I just felt like, I was ready to respond.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Ruben Flores. Fat Joe is not a philosopher. He's also apparently not a very good hype man because
He's terrible.
he's
Shout
not
out,
a good hype
shout
man
out.
because Ice Cube lapped him in that during the World Series too. So
How about, you
Ice
should
Cube
relax, Reezy.
Ice Cube coming to crypto in September, by the way. So maybe that'll co-align. Maybe that'll align with a Dodgers hot streak or something. We can get
Oh.
Dave out to the concert and get
Yeah.
things back under. I don't want to wait till September, but just saying.
Get Dave twerking again to
Yeah.
Ice Cube songs like he did at the parade or whatever at the celebration at Dodger Stadium last year. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right. So enough of the bad. More of the good. Outfield, we saw Teo get a day off yesterday. Was it a day off, Greg, or was he benched in your estimation?
In my that let's call it it's a benching. I think it's a bench. It was probably a unplanned day off. Let's call it that. Is that a better way to put it?
Let's go to a veteran day of rest.
Veteran day of rest, yeah.
Let's call it that.
If we're being positive, veteran day of rest.
Veteran day of rest, yes. Apparently, my Fat Joe reference has launched some things.
God, they don't like us today. What is happening?
The Dodgers are 3-7 in the last.
The Dodgers, they've lost 11 of 14. People are salty. They're 1-4 since the All-Star break. I get it. Everybody's a little bit on edge right now. Like, I understand that. That's kind of where we are right now. Yeah. So Teo gets the veteran day of rest, I guess is what we're calling it. Hopefully, that gets him coming around. Edman was off yesterday as well. So maybe now that I'm thinking about it, Greg, maybe you're right. Maybe this was a punt play from the beginning, right? I mean,
it kind of felt a little bit. You can't punt on Yamamoto starts though. That's the thing. Like when Yamamoto starts, you need to put everything your best foot forward and all of that because of what he's had so far, not getting any run support. And he ended up getting some late. If it counts that way, I don't know.
But then you get the airs, so it's just
that. The team is just playing badly.
I know
we're being positive, but at the same time, this team is playing really poorly defensively in the bullpen. We're trying to I see positives in the offense, but what's it called? Dino Ebel sending guys when he shouldn't and stopping them then when he shouldn't. That's not typical. So I mean, everything is just kind of all coming together at once of just awfulness and causing it to be 3-7. And then you have Michael Conforto grounding into two double plays when when you're trying to start some sort of rally. And I can't imagine that. Can we do that? Can we talk a little bit about Michael Conforto? Or is that's not a positive thing? There's no positivity in there.
We're positive that he's not contributing to the offense. I mean,
Thomas says, Greg, he might be the biggest villain in any year ever. He says you knew that double play was coming. Oof.
Oh, every single time, man. Like we're now at a point in the season that Michael Conforto has over 300 at bats. Like, can we just call it what it is? Like he's not getting better. This isn't turning around.
This just is what it is at this point.
And maybe that's why we haven't heard from our great friend Jeff in a while. Because usually we see a single and we got to hear it in the chat. And we haven't heard anything because I think that everybody has officially come to the conclusion he should not be here as of whatever the
August 1st
trade deadline is.
Next Friday. Yeah.
Next Friday. July 31st is the trade deadline. So if he does get moved, I don't know. I mean, someone always needs an outfielder. We need outfielders.
But like you said, Marcus, the price is just not what it was. So Conforto's what is he even going to get you at this point? Cash? But you paid him $17 million. It's a very
you have to take on some of that too. Yeah. And now Roberts I just saw, I got a notification. Roberts on the bullpen. It better be rock bottom after relief unit collapses again versus Twins. Is it,
okay, Dave?
Is it rock bottom? Is it?
That, I don't know. That did sort of feel rock bottom-ish. And maybe just because, look, Kasparius came out and immediately was it walk, double, walk, gets hurt. But Diaz comes in and gives up gives up another hit. Enriquez with just, I don't know if he's trying to use the force or if he actually was looking at Freddie. I'm not sure what happened there. That throw down the right field line. At that point when that happened, I was like, okay, I I can rest easy tonight. I can turn this off.
Right. This isn't a big deal anymore.
Like I can let this go now.
I sat through. I was like you were annoyed coming in. I was just so calm about the whole thing. I was like, I'm gonna watch this whole game, and I watched all the way through Shohei hitting the home run in the ninth. I watched the end of the game, and I was like, okay, I can go to bed.
I don't know how you did. I had Gamecast like next to me, but I had that Billy Joel new documentary on the TV because I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I don't know. Once Henrique, like that was 100-mile-per-hour fastball that went all the way to the wall. It was bases loaded, and that throw unloaded the bases.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even if it was on target, he threw that so hard. I'm not sure that Freddie could have caught it anyway.
No,
I mean, as hard as he threw that baseball.
It's bad news Bears.
He was actually pretty good the rest of the way after that. He's striking out guys, throwing good pitches. He actually didn't look so horrible. I saw if he figures that part out, how to throw to first base.
Then
do a little PFP, once in a while.
Then maybe we got something there. Who knows? Yeah. All right, let's turn our attention to this afternoon. I was gonna say tonight, but it is a 1:00 start in the series finale against the Twins, and Tyler Glasnow getting the start.
Okay.
Hey, look, Glasnow has been very good in his 2 starts back. Right? He hasn't necessarily gotten a lot of help behind him, but the fault has not been with Tyler Glasnow. So, Greg, I'm going to ask you, we've had 2 starts from Glasnow. Does he get through 5 innings and start number 3 without something unfortunate happening?
Oh, God, I don't want to put that juju on him, but yeah, I mean, I hope so. Look, when Tyler Glasnow is pitching to the level that he can pitch at, he is elite. Like, to the word elite, he is elite. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Excuse me. One of the best pitchers in baseball. Yeah. I know. Honestly, I'm saying something nice about that. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball when he is healthy. So yeah, if hopefully this is the start for him. Hopefully they just said, you know what, you don't last whole seasons. We're going to take the middle of the season out for you and have you pitch towards after the All-Star break and on, so you can pitch into the postseason at full force. Hopefully that's what happened. Hopefully that's what's happening with Blake Snell. I think I'm just trying to psych myself into something. But honestly, look, if he's good the rest of the way, I'm going to be ecstatic because I honestly think he can be a number 1 starter. He is a number 1 starter. When all's right with this team, Glasnow, Snell, Yamamoto, and Shohei are all number 1 starters. You have 4 number 1 starters when all is healthy, and that just need to be healthy.
So I think that was actually beautiful, by the way, Greg. Being able to hear something positive about Glasnow from that box up there was great. Oh no, I didn't even point at the right box. I've done it again. That box up there.
Okay. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, the control has been great since he's been back. Again, I don't think it's large enough sample size just yet, but he's really been doing good, and I love to see it. The efficiency and length since he's been back. I think that maybe that was a planned, extra few, a couple weeks or whatever on the IL. He probably could have been back before that. But I'm okay with that because if this is the Glasnow we're going to see moving forward for the next, hopefully 3-4 months, then I'm all good. And I'm excited to see what he's got this afternoon, Marcus. Almost said tonight.
Yeah. So we'll check that out. Going against Chris Paddock, who has not been particularly great lately, 3-9 with a 5.14 ERA. In fact, his last few starts gave up 5 in his last start to the Rockies, gave up 6 before that to the Cubs. So unlike Simeon Woods Richardson, who had been going well, Chris Paddock has not been going very well. So hopefully the Dodger offense can stay hot and take advantage of that. So hopefully we'll have something good to talk about tomorrow during the Dodger off day. We'll be back with you, of course, as always, here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Stick around. First pitch coming up with Travis and DeMarco and our own Bergman here. Appreciate you all in the chat for hanging out. I know it's been a grouchy day for all of us. Hopefully the Blue Crew wins today and makes us all feel better. Thanks to LAX as well. For Parker, for Greg, I am Marcus. This has been the Blue Review. See you here tomorrow, 8:30 to 8:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel.
See ya.